So I was stupid enough to come to Australia in the middle of winter without bringing a coat. So here I am in this coat that the nurse lent me, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I can't wear this out in public. It's bad. I feel embarrassed enough as it is stood in here and there's nobody here to see. So I showed that coat to one of the doctors, and once he stopped laughing, he said I could have this instead, which is a lot nicer. But bless him, he's having to go home tonight without a coat on in the freezing cold, because he says I can't go out in Melbourne looking like that. I feel bad for the nurse though, lending me that coat. But I'll keep it in my room and give her it back on Monday and tell her that I wore it and that it was really nice, because I think that's the right thing to do. So I'm at the airport again. I've got Karen with me, who is my German medic friend, and I feel like I'm on my holidays because we're going to Melbourne for the weekend, which is very exciting. No duty free because it's a domestic flight, I think. It's the first time I've ever done a domestic flight, which is exciting. No, that's a lie actually. I did fly one time when we came back from Mallorca. We had to stop at Birmingham Airport for 5 minutes and then went back to Manchester. So I guess that counts as a domestic flight. Got my coat on. Boiling hot, don't feel like I needed a massive coat, but I'm hoping when we get there I'll be glad that I've got it. So we had an absolute nightmare last night, so listen to this. We checked into the hostel, and we were quite late to be fair because the flight didn't get in until 11:30. And so we checked in and went into our room. It's a little 4-bed room. Opened the door, there was no room to swing a cat because it looked like somebody had moved in. There was this big hairy man, middle-aged man, just moaning at us for coming in so late, and he had stuff everywhere. There was boxes of cereals all on the walls and everything, like he'd been living there for ages, and it was just really awkward all night and we felt so uncomfortable. But we've just been downstairs to reception and asked if we could change because like not having that for 2 nights in a row. And the guy was really good. He was from Yorkshire, so that was a bonus. And he was just like, yeah, that's Jose. He's been living there for 2 years and he's already on his last warning, so I think he'll be getting kicked out. So we've made it out of the dreary hostel and we've come out to venture into Melbourne. So you can see I've got a pretty good view behind me again, and we're just going to go and explore. I've been watching what you're up to, but I've been sat over there. So what's the outfit?
I'm a school teacher, and the students that you see, all the students, they walk around and have to find all these teachers dressed up, and I'm dressed up as William Wallace.
Oh, okay, so you're not the only one?
No, there's other teachers dressed up as different things. There's a garden and botanic gardens over there.
So we've come out to St Kilda Pier in Melbourne to see some penguins because they've all been out in the sea during the day, and then when the sun sets they come running over here apparently and go to their nests and their babies at night. So we've seen a couple already, a couple of lazy ones that haven't been out today, so we're hoping that in 10-15 minutes the rest of the colony is all going to sweep in. It turns out it's quite hard to film penguins in the dark, so this isn't quite the David Attenborough documentary I was hoping, but we've managed to find one little penguin for you to see sat under a light. I mean, it's a bit of an anticlimax because the penguin volunteer guy promised us about 1,500 penguins and we've seen about 5. So I think we're just going to go back and get warm and find somewhere to eat instead. So look who I bumped into in Melbourne. Actually, a lot of you watching this probably won't have a clue who he is, but this is Sam, who is a medic from Newcastle.
Hello.
Yeah.
So we're on Brunswick Street now, which is where all the main pubs are in Fitzroy, just outside of Melbourne.
So it's a lovely morning here in Melbourne, and I'm just having a little walk along the river, so I thought it would be a good time to have a little think about what I've learned in Australia so far. I think the first thing is that the weather forecast is always wrong, because it was meant to be chucking it down with rain today, but I've had to have my sunglasses on. The next thing is people are nice. When I was leaving home, my granddad's top tip was don't trust a soul. But actually I think people are pretty nice here. I've had coats thrown at me left, right and centre to borrow. People just always going out the way to help you and make you feel welcome, which is nice. I've also learned, most importantly, that if you're walking outside at night, to never walk under trees because spiders apparently drop down. So if you're walking on a pavement and there's trees going over the side, you should always walk in the middle of the road instead and try not to get run over, because if you walk under the trees you'll get spiders on your head. So I've avoided that one so far. And I think my other important thing that I've learned is to always laugh at the consultant's jokes. Sometimes when I'm a medical student, I feel a little bit like one of those statues that you get in York, where well, not a real statue, one of those people that's painted themselves in silver, and then you put 50p in their box and they do like a little dance. And I think sometimes I feel like that as a medical student on a ward round, and I'm just waiting for somebody to pop 50p in the box, and then I start having a little chat. But apart from that, I'm just going around, walking around like a silver statue again. So it's laughing at the consultant's jokes and getting the 50 pences in your box so you can have a little chat and get involved. So I've actually fallen in love with this coat a little bit since I've borrowed it. So we've come into a Kathmandu shop, don't know how you say it. Because everybody in Australia has got one of these. This is like the North Face jacket in Australia. But $199 in the sale. So normally $400, they're not cheap. So this umbrella has really come in handy. I found it a few weeks ago just laying next to a bin, so I picked it up. And it's not like anything I've ever seen before. It's got a button on the side that you press and the umbrella opens, so watch this. So we're just finishing our little weekend in Melbourne with another coffee in one of the really nice coffee shops that you can find in the laneways. Had a really nice time. It's been nice to escape Sydney for a little bit. I think I prefer Sydney, so I'm looking forward to going back. We've had a really nice time. It was good to see Sam yesterday. It was a nice little reminder of home, so that was nice. We're feeling really refreshed and ready to go back for the last week of placement, and then it's onwards and upwards further up the coast.